Welcome back, folks. So this afternoon, quick task here is going to be to rotate some of the tires on the Tesla over here, and I'm going to use these jacks to do it. One of them is a new one, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think about that. Stay tuned. All right. So let's get started. One of the things I want to talk about here was the jacks here. There's one in the back. This one I've had for quite a while. It's a Craftsman, all aluminum, racing jack, I guess is what you call it. It's been absolutely terrific. Very solid jack, no issues with it. I've been very happy with it. This one I just bought to do this tire rotation. It is a Touran Big Red racing jack. I'm sure it's going to work fine. I just am not impressed with it when I compare it to this older aluminum Craftsman. I was not able to find any new or used of that Craftsman. I wanted to try and get the same kind, but I wasn't able to. So let's take a closer look at these. So it's the little things that I noticed. The handle here for the Craftsman is all aluminum. It has a really nice fit here between the two aluminum pieces. Machined basically down to have a really nice tight fit, and this press ball is pretty simple and easy. This turns out that it is steel. It's a little bit smaller than one would expect, and it's been pressed in here, and I don't know if you can tell there, but it is not a very clean, tight fit to the lower piece, and this little button really was not very well put in there, and so it doesn't fit great. This, and again, it's probably fine. This is a screw in here to take in and out the handle. I just didn't expect that because the old Craftsman here is a nice quick pull release, just a little bit different. Couldn't really find any that had a nice handle on the back because it really helps with trying to carry it. This one doesn't have one, of course. The wheels on this one is a 2-ton. And this one is a 3-ton. These wheels are actually more robust on here than on the 3-ton. Same thing up front. I really wanted another one that had just a solid roller up front. Couldn't find it. So you've got these wheels here. Everywhere I've rolled this so far, this one doesn't touch the ground. So the jack isn't actually flat on the ground. Probably going to have to take it apart and either put some washers in it or something like that, or just loosen everything up and let it sit flat. The other thing is, obviously when I bought it, I realized that this pad was smaller than the one here. This pad has been terrific for doing hoist or jacking up the engines and things on the car and all the stuff I've used it for on the truck and everything too. They seem pretty solid, both of them. I've used this one for all sorts of jacking up my truck and the car and just all sorts of stuff. Never had an issue with it. They both also are quick pump where it should only take a couple pumps to go up. And so what I'm used to on the Craftsman, so if I tighten that up, to jack it all the way to the fully extended, we're just going to do one pump, goes nearly 3/4. And then the last one, I'm just going to do a little bit, and it's actually going to be too high off the ground to lift it all the way up. So I'm going to step on it here. And that'll put it the rest of the way. And so that's basically 2 pumps and it goes up all the way. The Touran also claims to be a quick pump. It is, a 3-ton versus a 2-ton, but so that's your first pump. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and they're about the same height now. So 7 pumps versus basically 2 or 1 3/4. So I already talked about it, that the handle on this Touran Big Red was not aluminum, it's steel. So it turns out that this 3-ton, it doesn't look it, but it is a fair amount heavier, it seems, than the 2-ton over here, which, again, makes sense. It's supposed to be a little more robust. These sidebars, these are steel, where on these it's aluminum. This has a really nice machined head here with the rotating grip there. This has a pressed steel. I'm not very impressed with the pressed steel. And then it does have rotating head on there too, but I'm really not impressed with the amount of steel that's on this for it being an aluminum jack. So we'll give it a shot, see how it works. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking over the specifics of the rotation here, tire rotation on the Tesla, because there's plenty of videos out there, but I'll just show you what it looks like. So let's get started. I've got to get these Aero covers off. All right. I may not put these back on right away. I do have some of the covers that go here so that you can use just the regular rims without the Aero covers on them. All right, the car is in park, and let me get out the lifting pucks. Hopefully the jacks fit under here. This pad on the new one is definitely smaller, and you gotta work to get it lined up. That'll be fine. 21mm socket. Breaker bar. I did bring a impact wrench, but I figured breaker bar is easier. So I think because this takes fewer pumps, or takes more pumps to raise up, it's actually a little bit easier to push down than the old Craftsman, which is nice. All right, both tires are off the ground, about the same. Compared to normally doing stuff on the truck, these tires are pretty light, pretty nice. The rears look to be in pretty good shape too. Up here, I'll show you. The rock jammed in there. But the tread and everything seems to look pretty good. I don't see anything in it, in the tread or anything. It's just that rock. All right, that one's good. I'm gonna put that up here out of the way. As long as it doesn't ride down the driveway, we'll be all right. All right, looks pretty good. Wear on the inside and outside are very similar. Doesn't look like the camber or alignment or anything's off. Let's just look over the tire, make sure there's nothing in it. More rocks. All right, I don't see any foreign material in there. Looks pretty good. Although you can tell it's not as flat as the rear one. It tends to want to tip where the rear one didn't. They're also pretty dirty. Since I've had those Aero covers on, I haven't washed them, so I'll wipe them down when I put the other covers back on them. I also need to figure out what the deal is with the pressure sensors, whether you have to reassign them to front or rear or whatnot. All right, those are snug. We're just going to snug them just a little bit with the cheater. Okay. Get this wheel on. That way, in case the jack fails or something, I don't have to worry about it.
All right, we got a torque wrench here, old Craftsman. Needs to be 129 foot-pounds, so that's where we're gonna set it to. Currently at 40-something foot-pounds. It's 129. Just below 130. 129. Okay. Let's get our socket. May have to put this down on the ground to fully torque them. Yeah. Front spins, rear won't because it's got the braking gauge, so let's go to the rear. There we go. We need an extension on this. Let me go see if I have one. So, of course, no extension here at the house, but did find a 1/2 to 3/4 and 3/4 to 1/2. So that should do. We're not using an impact wrench or anything on this. There we go. Yeah. It's good. All right, this side's done. All right, again, about the same amount of wear. All looks good. Plenty of tread left. And I don't see any punctures or anything associated with it. Okay, same wear. Just small rocks. Yep, that looks good.
Well, I've been trying to keep the car pretty clean, but it turns out behind the Aero wheels, it gets pretty funky back there. So what I've got is some Aero wheel caps here. Let's see if they're actually in there. Yeah, so that's what they look like. I'm gonna put some of these on, but first I gotta at least wipe down the areas in the center that they're gonna cover, and then I'll clean up the rest of the wheels another time. All right, that'll do pretty good. Just a snap ring in there. There you go. All right, we're all set there. I'll show you in just a second what the Aero covers look like, but we got those all on. I did remember to grab out the 2 jacking pucks. Almost forgot. But I figured I'd tell you what I thought about the new jack. Well, it's hard to complain. It did its job. It jacked up the car. It actually was a little bit easier to actually manipulate the handle because of the more times that it pumps, it's actually a little bit easier. So that was actually kind of nice. I do actually think though that even these little handles on the side, these are steel and not aluminum. So very little of it is aluminum for being an aluminum racing jack. So it weighs like 60 pounds. It did everything good. The pad could have been a little bit bigger. You had to just make sure that you were good and centered on it, because it does pretty much equal the size of this little puck. Everything else seemed to work good for it, so I'll give it a pass. We'll see how it does in the future. All right, here are the Aero cover hubcap wheels things. Maybe you call them on there. They look pretty good. We'll leave it like this for a while. I'll get the wheels actually cleaned up too, and hopefully they'll look a little bit better. Odometer here. We're at right now 7,000 miles, so that's not too bad. I've got the current trip, and then what I've got here is one of my custom ones is tire rotation, and so this is basically the full amount that is on the car right now. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna reset that. And so it took me a second to figure out how to reset this. I had to scroll all the way down here, so we'll reset the tire rotation. Yes. All right, so we're back at 0 there for tire rotation. So we'll start this process all over again, and what's it, 6,250 miles. All right, a quick look at the manual on here. It tells you about tire configuration. So it said go to service, wheel and tire configuration. So those are the wheels. Yep, go to tires, select tire season. That's what we've got. So I had to switch sides because this tells me to do this update, I got to press pedal with the key present. So I've done that. So we were updating that. Well, in the meantime, you can see the display went dark. It's getting to be pretty late. From all I can tell is that from the tires and then resetting the tire season here and doing an update, it basically says that you're supposed to run this after each tire rotation. I guess it somehow automatically detects where the sensors are. It's beyond me, but I'll look it up some more, but it seems like it's going to automatically reset those sensors. So, looks like we're about done here. Thanks for watching again. Glad you came along for the ride here. First time swapping these. I'll also put a subscribe here, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, and I'll find a video here that will be of interest to you as well. So, tune in next time.